Imagine two students receive rupees 50,000 as gift. One of them, like this boy, keep this 50,000 rupees safely in the cupboard, whereas the other student, invest this 50,000, okay, on the advice of her father. All right. So what happens after 10 years? After 10 years, what we can see is this boy who had kept this 50,000 rupees in the cupboard remains 50,000. However, the girl who had listened to the advice of her father and had invested 50,000, that changes to how much? It's more than 1,29,000. How is that even possible? She had invested the money in bank, right? Did the bank create the money magically? Now, by the end of this lesson, you will be able to understand the power of compounding that the bank has applied, which we not only understand in this lesson, but is applicable in real world as well. But before we solve any sums, I want you to answer one question. You know what? Most students would choose the first option. And that's exactly why students struggle with the concept of compound interest, and thereby they failed to understand and apply in word problems. Let's see what actually happens. Suppose you invest 10,000 rupees and the bank gives you 10% interest. So by the end of 1 year, you earn 1,000 rupees. So the total amount becomes 11,000 rupees. Now, here is the interesting part. In the second year, the bank does not calculate interest on 10,000 rupees. It calculates interest on 11,000 rupees, which essentially means that the interest is calculated on the principal, which is the amount of the preceding year. That means your previous interest also starts earning interest. And this keeps on going in the next year as well. This is a concept that we have learned in the previous lesson. So this was a recapitulation basically. Now let's learn the simple step-by-step process of solving any compound interest word problem. As you can see on your screen, the very first step is to interpret the question correctly, followed by identifying which are the known variables, and finally applying the formula without blindly just applying it. Let's solve our first question. Please pause the video for 5 seconds and try it on your own. Ready? So principal as given to us is rupees 3,125, followed by time period, which is here. It is very interesting that for every time period, the rate of interest changes. So can we write 3 years? Will it be right for us to write it? Let's see. Rate of interest changes for every year. So we have 4%, 5%, and 6%. What do we have to calculate? We'll have to calculate amount. Traditionally, we know amount is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 to the power T. Now, since for every year, the rate of interest changes, so we'll consider the time period as 1, which gets mapped to this 4, again 1, which gets mapped to this 5, again 1, which gets mapped to this 6, and we'll replace it. So 3,125 is the principal amount, is the principal sum, and multiplied by 1 plus rate is nothing but 4 divided by 100 multiplied by 1 plus. See, since the rate is changing for every year, we are not writing anything in the power. So we are eliminating this power factor, right? So what we are instead doing is we are writing the value of the rate of interest that is getting changed every year. And 1 plus 6 by 100. So this you can write whenever there is changing rate of interest in successive years. What you can write over here is in the formula P into 1 plus R1 by 100 into 1 plus R2 by 100 and subsequently as many number of rate of interest is given for as many number of years. Okay, and if we solve this, what we really get is rupees 3,617.25. But was that the question? The question was to find out compound interest. So compound interest is equal to amount minus principal, that is rupees 3,617.25 minus 3,125, that is nothing but rupees 492.25. Okay, let's solve the second problem. Please pause the video once again and take 5 seconds to try and solve the problem. Now let's try to solve this problem. We know the amount. Let us write it. Amount is rupees 9,680. What else do we know? We know that the time is for 2 years. We also know about the rate. The rate is 10% per annum. It is compounded annually, right? So we do not have any other piece of information. Principal is something that we have to find out. Let us consider the unknown variable as p only, right? And write the formula that we are aware of. That is a is equal to p into 1 plus r by 100 to the power t, and substitute the values of the known variables. Let us quickly do that. So 9,680, this is doable. P, we cannot do anything about it, so let it be 1 plus, instead of r, we will substitute by 10 by 100 to the power of 2. We will just reduce it and keep this as it is. So this becomes p into 1 by 10. So this becomes 11 by 10 into 11 by 10, because the power factor is 2. Now, what we can do is, we can keep p on one side. So ideally it was on the right hand side. I'm keeping it on left hand side. So if this is on the division, okay, 2 tens are there, okay, in the denominator. Obviously, if it goes on the right hand side, it will be multiplied. So 9680 multiplied by 10 multiplied by another 10, since in the denominator there are 2 tens, and in the numerator there are 2 11. Obviously, when it goes to the other side, it will get divided. So 11 multiplied by 11. Now let's see whether we can reduce it or not. Yes, it gets reduced. 880. This also gets reduced. This becomes 80. So we have a clear-cut answer. That is, my principal is nothing but rupees 8,000. Very simple. So we just don't need to panic whenever we see that everything else is given apart from principal. Now, do you remember our opening story where one friend had kept the amount received as a gift of 50,000 in the cupboard safely, whereas the other friend had chosen to invest 50,000 rupees and received more than 1,29,000 after a period of 10 years? So let's solve the mystery, right? So what really could have happened? Any idea? So basically what happened was, so the girl who had invested in a bank, the bank had given an interest of 10% for a period of 10 years. Now, very simple. Now that you know the concept of compound interest, you already know the formula. So you have a simple sum out here, right? So what is the principal? 50,000 rupees. What is the rate of interest? 10%. What is the time period? 10 years. Do the math. You will get more than 1,29,000 rupees. Right? So now that we have understood a couple of questions, different patterns of word problems, let's just do one more sum, right? Let's read the sum carefully. and try and interpret the question. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds time. Pause the video, try to solve it on your own, and then we are going to solve it. Are you ready? Let's solve it. So amount clearly not given. How do we apply the formula? So trick question. Let's see how do we solve. So CI is given to us, which is rupees 2050. Principal not known. Time period 2 years. Rate is that of 5% per annum. Since we have the value of CI, what is the formula that we can write, or what is the relationship that we can establish between CI and principal? Do not think about a formula. Always try to think what is the relationship we can establish between the known and the unknown parameters in the question. So CI, when we have to find out CI, if we know amount and if we know principal, we subtract principal from amount, we get the value of CI, right? Value of compound interest is given to us. Let us write down whatever we know. We will just substitute that. Amount we do not know, but we know what is the formula for amount, right? We can at least write that. So let us write that at least. P into 1 plus R by 100 to the power T minus P, because P is not known. So let's write P only. This has become more like a linear equation. Now 2050, P remains P. 1 plus R, we will substitute by 5 by 100 to the power 2 minus P. Let us try to reduce it as much as possible to avoid any kind of calculation mistake as well. And then 2050. Now in the right hand side, just check how can we simplify this entire expression. We have one expression over here minus P. Can we see something common? T is common, right? So take P, which is common. And then what can we write? 1 plus 1 by 20 square minus 1. Am I correct? Understood. Let me still try to solve this as much as possible. This becomes 21 by 20 into 21 by 20. I hope this is clear. Minus 1 followed by we already know the square of 21, that is 441 by 400 minus 1. See, this is becoming much more simpler now. So 2050 is equal to P into. Now this becomes 441 minus 400 by 400. So what do we get? Now it's a very simple equation. Now let me just write the unknown variable in the left hand side for me to equate it. If we just reduce it, what we get is the final value, which is this is my final answer. That's it. So if this video helped you understand compound interest word problems, give it a thumbs up. In the next video, we'll solve high-level compound interest word problems involving half-yearly and quarterly word problems as well. Subscribe and I'll see you in the next lesson. Happy learning.